Hey everyone, welcome to Legends, Lore, and More, Episode 2. Andrew is pretty busy. His schedule's pretty swamped, so I'm going to be solo on this one. But we will be doing another joint video soon. So um, in this episode, I just kind of wanted to talk about some frequently asked questions that I see in the comments of some of the videos, as well as in reviews on some of the stores and everything that I'm on. So I'll cover some of the questions, kind of talk about me a little bit. And if you're interested to know about me, then you can, find some details on that in this video. So the main question I get asked is, Fierce my real last name? And believe it or not, it is my real last name. I did not change it. That's the name I was born with. That's my dad's last name, his dad's last name. So it is legit. And every time I tell people that, I get the comment that it's an interesting last name, or that's cool, or whatever. And I agree. I think it's amazing. So another question is, what inspires me? And I would say, as a writer, everything really. People that you meet that are, quirky or different than, the average person you meet. They kind of give you ideas for characters and things like that. One of my books, which unfortunately is not in audio, Dragon's Fear. The whole idea for that book was born by working in a nursery at a church, where a kid was playing with this toy that had buttons all over it, and it was shaped like a ball. And as you push the buttons, it played music. And I got the idea of, like, what if there was a sphere of some kind that had a dragon soul trapped inside of it, and music had to be played periodically to keep the enchantment on there strong so the dragon didn't get out. And that kind of gave birth to that book, which then gave birth to another 3 books. So that series is 4 books long. They're not in audio. They are some of the first ones I wrote. So while they're not, they don't suck in my opinion, but with anything, the more you do, the better you get. So if you come into my series, Dragon Riders of Bosnan, my writing craft has really come leaps and bounds from the first books I wrote. But if you are interested in those, you can go to my website, and the link on there will take you to a landing page that takes you to any store that you favor. So if you like Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Kobo, any of the ebook stores, they're all listed there, and you can pick one and download it from there. So I do have over 20 books that I've written. I've been writing technically since I was in high school, but I really kind of delved into it to be serious and make this what I want to do full time. Around 2008, 2009, I started writing and kind of publishing, self-publishing. Some of the things that I initially did are not up anymore, just because they weren't, in my opinion, up to the standard that I have now. So not counting those things that I took down initially, I have 20 plus books, and you can view them all on my website, like I said. I am working to get them all into audio eventually. Right now, Dragon Riders of Bosnan series, those are in audio. The series that I launched just the beginning of this month, Marked by the Dragon, those will be in audio. And I have a space opera series that's in audio that I got the rights to from the narrator. So we ended our royalty share deal. So now I can put them everywhere. So as you guys saw, the first one is up. There are 2 more in that series, and they're coming soon as well. I just got to put those together and put them up on YouTube. And as far as my plans go for audiobooks, everything that I do going forward, I plan to have an audiobook version for, and I will upload them here on YouTube so you guys can enjoy them. But I do have a lot of books, and audio is expensive to produce, especially if you want someone of Andrew or Kevin's caliber of narration. So it is not financially easy to get audiobooks put together and have them decent quality. So I will eventually get all of them up onto YouTube, including the ones that are already existing in audio right now. So just bear with me, be patient, and they're coming. And I know some of you have binged through the first 5 of Dragon Riders of Oz so far, and the other 5 are coming. So just, I appreciate your patience. um, the other thing that I want to mention is writing a book just in itself is obviously time consuming. I do have a full-time job. I have a family. I'm married. I have 3 stepdaughters and a grandchild. I'm only 36 and I can say I'm a grandpa, so it's kind of mind-blowing, right? But I love it, and it's fun having him here. And I have to carve out time to write, obviously, and writing takes a long time. So writing the book is the first thing, then it's got to be edited, and then once it's done and polished up, then I contract a narrator, send it over to them, and they begin narrating it. Um, so for the current series that's launched, Scale of the Dragon, which has received so much love from you guys on here, I am so grateful for that. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I try to take that series in a completely different direction than what I did with the Dragon Riders of Osman, and clearly it was a good move because people are raving about it. So I appreciate all the kind words on that series. The second one is done. The narration is done, and it will go live on August 5th. So I know a lot of people are asking about the date on that one. August 5th is when it's coming. That's the day that the ebook and the print book and everything launches, goes live on Amazon and everywhere else. So that's the day the video will go up on YouTube as well. So just be patient. It's all coming, I promise. There's just a lot of moving parts on my end to get things ready and up and going. So I appreciate all the kind comments and people loving the series. It's been amazing because as a writer, it's a very lonely path. So you don't know if it's good or not. You think it is, and then once you hear people raving, then it kind of just boosts your ego, and that's a big help and motivator. So like I said, book 2, which the title was changed. So when the first book was recorded, the original plan was book 1 was going to be Scale of the Dragon, book 2 was going to be Call of the Dragon, book 3 was going to be Wrath of the Dragon. After book 1 was done, narrated, and I was into book 2, some of the plot changed and required a title change to fit the book. So I changed the title to Egg of the Dragon. So book 2 is Egg of the Dragon, and it is coming August 5th. Book 3 will be Call of the Dragon, and I am writing that one right now. So my plan is that one will be up September 5th, God willing. I am writing it. I'm about a third of the way through. I'm about to power through a bunch of writing over the next week or two and hopefully get it finished. And then, of course, I let it age a little bit, read back through it, make some changes, and then get the editing done. And then I send it to the narrator. So he's been pretty quick to get them done. I know they're not long, but every hour of audio that you listen to is usually anywhere from 2 to 5 hours of audio recording from a narrator. So his estimation for me has been a month for each one, and he's been really good at getting them done a lot sooner. So the goal for that one is to have it done, edited, narrated, and it'll all go up September 5th. So I know that's a little bit of a wait considering the second one's not out yet and it's about to be up in about 2 weeks. But that's just, it's a time consuming process. So I appreciate everyone's patience. I love seeing you guys subscribe because it just shows me that you're interested in following the stories I'm putting up, and it means the world to me. So I thank you. So that's kind of some non-creative things, but just so you're aware of those things. I do have plans for other books. So when I started the Marked by the Dragon series, my plan was 3 books. In the first video with Andrew, I mentioned that I was just starting the third one, and it was kind of evident that it was going to be more than three. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if I will extend it or if it will just end at three. I've got a lot of things going on in book two, which you guys will see shortly. 2 weeks. It's going to be awesome. And in the third one, lots of things from book two are going to play out. And I'm not sure if it's all going to fit into the third book or if it's going to push into a fourth one. If it does push into a fourth one, that book is going to take a little bit longer to get out because I already have some other books lined up, ideas, things I'm working on. So that's kind of what happens when you're writing and you plan for something and then the plot goes or the characters decide to do what they want and you end up extending it by another book. You know, things get changed along the way. So it's not a big deal. I'm not unhappy that the story has changed this way. I like it. And for those of you who didn't watch the first video, I mentioned that Dragon Riders of Oz originally was only 5 books. And when I finished the 5th one, I kind of put an ending there, but I did leave an opening, which opened up the door to the next 5. And as of right now, that 10-book series is done. I don't plan on writing any more about Elwyn and Marin, but you never know. I could come back and add some more. The ebook series is definitely doing well, so it may sway me to come up with some ideas for the next ones. There's some things that I introduce in the later books that I don't fully explore that may be an object of curiosity for people. So I could come back to those ideas and kind of flesh those out. But the plan is once I finish Call of the Dragon, which is the 3rd one, I'm going to do a book. I don't have a title yet, but if you like the story of Mulan, it's going to be a Dragon Rider novel similar to a Mulan retelling. So it's going to take place in the Dragon Riders of Oz universe, and it's going to follow a character who her father is a Dragon Rider, but he's retired and he's older. His body is ate up with arthritis, so he can barely walk, let alone fight a Rider Dragon. And an enemy army is marching in on a kingdom, and I'm still fleshing through some of these things. So it might be the kingdom of Ozen, it might be the kingdom of Terran. I'm thinking Terran, but we'll see. I'm still kind of fleshing it out. But she obviously is afraid that if her dad goes to war, he'll die because he can barely move. So she decides to cut her hair and be a boy and go and fight in her father's place and use her father's dragon. And it's going to present unique challenges for her because dragons in this universe can only bond with one person, and her father's dragon is obviously bonded to her father. So they can communicate telepathically, but they can't share emotions or thoughts and feelings. They can only tell each other things. So it's going to be an interesting story to play out. And so that is the next thing on my list to write. And I'm also playing around with the idea that Andrew actually presented in the first video, which was he wanted to know the story of Eldwin's father. And his name is Matthias, and he is a hero. So in the beginning of the first book, you know, his father died in the war. He's a war hero. Everyone kind of mentions that anytime he brings up who his father is. And so I've been considering writing a book about him. Probably not a series, probably a standalone. And same with the Mulan retelling. It would be a prequel of sorts. The Mulan one would be set a long time before the current series. And in my opinion, I just wanted to write something that showed how women got to the opportunity to be dragon riders. And that, you know, back in this time frame, only men were allowed to be dragon riders. And so that's kind of why I say it's a Mulan retelling, because, you know, in Mulan, only men could be soldiers. And so it was kind of a similar idea. And I was like, well, it's kind of like Mulan, but, you know, if you don't know that it's about Mulan, then you would just think it's a Dragon Rider's tale. And so I think you guys are gonna like it because I'm really excited about telling that story. I have actually written the first two chapters, um, and so it's uh, it's it's coming along well, I think. So obviously, I'm working on Call of the Dragon the most, but as I get ideas, I kind of jot them down, and when I was writing some ideas down, I ended up writing two chapters. So that's coming this year as well. Um, and the uh, possible project with Eldwin's father, that one. Um, Once I write Call of the Dragon and then I write the Mulan retelling, then I'm probably going to switch gears to, if there is a fourth one for Marked by the Dragon, I'll work on that one. So that one, if it comes to fruition and everything doesn't fit in the third one, that one will be Wrath of the Dragon. So there will be four. Probably will end it at the four if I don't with three. So um, that series is completely different, like I said, from anything that I've written. So um, it was interesting coming up with the magic system, the runes and the tattoos and how they connect to a lore. And I really haven't got to explore that as much as I intended to when I started writing, because the dragon stuff kind of took front and center. And that's fine. I can always add that more, about the magic system in the third and fourth book. Um, so yeah, those are kind of my plans for right now. I have tons of ideas that I have. I like to make the joke that I have more unfinished story ideas than I do friends. So I've got plenty of things that I can work on once I get through those. But I'm trying not to plan too far ahead. That way I don't get unfocused on my current projects and I start getting scatterbrained. So those are what I'm working on. Like I said, those ones that are upcoming, and the space opera series. I know if you're a fan of fantasy, usually you don't do science fiction or space opera. I don't either. I'm not a sci-fi reader or listener or watcher usually, but that was my first experiment with the episodic storytelling that I do now, which has been amazing, not just for me to tell a story in that way, but um, those have been my best selling books of anything I've written. So I'm going to continue to do episodic stuff, except for the Mulan retelling. That will be probably a full length novel. When I say full length, for me, that's probably 50 to 60,000 words. So 6 to 8 hours of audio, depending on how quickly the narrator talks. Um, so those prequel ones will be longer probably, since they're just standalones. But anyways, the space opera, there's only three in that series. I did have plans to extend it. I left a lot of openings at the end for things that I have an idea for the fourth one. Unfortunately, the ebooks did not really sell. Nobody really seemed to have an interest. The audiobooks did pretty well. We made a decent amount of money so that the narrator agreed to end the royalty share deal. So that's the only reason that I'm able to put those on YouTube, is she agreed to give up her side of the rights so that I own the files and I can put them wherever I want. And she made a decent amount from that. So so the audiobooks did fantastic. Way, way, way better than the ebooks. And I don't know, maybe it's readers of space opera sci-fi don't like shorter episodic stories like that. So shame on me for not doing enough research, but I love the stories. My boss, he listened to the audiobooks, and he's a big sci-fi fan, and he said he loved the story. And so if you haven't watched the first one or listened to the first one, it's about a mercenary crew who kind of travel the galaxy taking odd jobs, and the main character, her name is Jade, and she has goals of retiring and living in style, and they get pulled into this universal-wide war that's basically about to break out, and it gets interesting. I don't want to give away too much, but it was really fun to write those, and that mercenary crew has a special place in my heart because sci-fi wasn't really my thing, and I did read a couple books and did a little bit of research on some things as far as like science and everything, obviously to explain how the ships are powered and everything. And so if you like fantasy and you don't like sci-fi, I get it. But if you like my storytelling, I encourage you to listen to those. The first one is up. The next two, I will be putting those up more quickly than the Riders of Oz one. So just keep your eyes peeled. If you're subscribed, you'll get the notification, obviously. Um, so so yeah, those are kind of my plans. What's going on right now, and of course some questions. Um, yeah, so just a little bit about me in case you are interested or care. Um, the my goal is to write full time. That's my goal. In 2020, when I launched the Dragon Riders of Oz series, it completely blew away any expectations I had. I've sold thousands of books, which was amazing, and that was my best year as an author. I did 5 figures in sales, low 5 figures though, so don't. It's definitely not enough to pay the bills. So don't think I'm wealthy or anything like that. It's definitely not. But I did have my best year of sales ever, which was amazing. So that is my goal. Now, what I did last year, I'll have to do 4 to 5 times that in order to do this full time. But that is my ultimate goal. So I'm working towards that. We're doing steps in our personal life to make that happen. We're gonna sell this house that we're in, move into a new house, and ideally in that process, we're going to have no mortgage payment. So we'll see. The housing market's pretty crazy with values right now, so that may or may not happen soon. I'm hoping soon. My day job is I work for a mobile app company. I'm operations manager. I do a little bit of everything, but my normal commute prior to the pandemic is I commute 4 hours a day. So obviously that takes a huge chunk of my personal time, and I don't have as much time to write. So last year when I was working from home, which I'm still working from home for now, I had plenty of time to write. So like I said in the first video, I wrote and published 12 books last year, which was crazy because normally I put out maybe 3 a year, maybe. So it's gonna be a struggle. In October, they're talking about having us come back to the office. That's obviously going to kill my writing productivity, and I'm not looking forward to it. So just keep in mind, I will post videos like this at least to keep you guys updated on what's going on, the status of projects and books. Like I said, thank you guys for all the encouragement and kind words and everything. It's awesome to hear. So I do get a question about signed paperback books. So if you see behind me, these are mine. These are mine. All these 2 bookshelves are full of my books. If you are interested in signed paperback copies, I do have a store on my website. You can go there, you can order it, and I do ship anywhere, assuming shipping cost isn't too much. So most print books that I get purchased directly off my website are in the US, but if you're not in the US and you're interested in getting a print copy signed by me, leave a comment or go to my website, fill out the contact me form, and let me know. Let me know where you live. I can look up shipping costs and I'll see what I can do for you. I try not to pass the shipping costs too much for international onto the customer, but it is expensive to send books overseas. So if you're interested in print, that is an option, and I love giving print books out. So yes, that's a big question I get. And conventions, do I go to conventions or book signings? I do, but not as many as I used to. In 2017, I think I did one every 2 weeks. I did like two a month, pretty much. It was busy. I went to a lot of places. I went to Florida, Alabama. I live in Georgia, so I did, of course, a ton of Georgia. I try not to go too far because weekends is when I get most of my writing done when I'm commuting. So when the commute comes back, most of my writing time will be done on the weekend. And you will see me at a few this year. There are a couple I have lined up. You can see those on my website as well. They are all in Georgia. So if you live in Georgia and you're going to conventions, you might see me there. I'm doing next Chapter Con. It's an authors convention. So everyone you see there will be authors, you know, doing panels, selling books. So if you live in Georgia, come on to that one. It's in Ringgold. It's on the state line of Georgia and Tennessee. I got invited to participate at Conjuration. That one's in November, and I will be doing some panels. I don't have the details on that yet, but I will update my website with that information once I have it. But I'll be doing panels. I'll have a table so you can come get books, get them autographed, things like that. And I'm doing one in October in Rome, Georgia. It's a smaller convention, but it's a one-day show. So if you're in that area, come on out, say hi, get some books. I'd love to meet fans, and I love to sign books. And I give autographs for free because I'm not famous, so you don't have to worry about paying extra. It's kind of surprising how many people think that you have to pay for that, but you don't. I sign books for free. You just got to buy the book. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at and what's going on, and that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for this one. We will do a third video. Hopefully Andrew will be available for that one, and we will do kind of delving into more about the Riders of Osnan, the history, the lore of the world, things like that. I'm also thinking about doing a live Q&A. So if you're interested in doing a live Q&A, please comment below. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for subscribing. You can't understand how much it means to me to see all the support. I love it. So I just want to let you know that I appreciate it. And if you are interested in that Q&A, please leave a comment. I would love to do it. Love to answer questions live because it's always interesting to see what people are curious about. So that's all I have. So I'll go ahead and end this episode. So thank you for watching. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It is a win-win, like Andrew and I said in the first video. When we're able to monetize the channel, you still get to listen for free and everything, but we get paid on views, and that will be awesome because it's our goal to do these things full time. So thank you again, and thank you for watching. And if you have question about anything that maybe I didn't talk about in this video, things you want to know about in the current series of the books you've already listened to, drop those below too. I'll answer anything. An open book. So thank you guys, and see you next time.